Hello, everyone. I'm Traci Derwin. Thank you so much for joining me today on the last day of the year. Because it's the last day of the year, it's the last day of the sale for the AquaCure. It's 25% off with the code Brush Junkie. I'll leave a link for more information on this, but I've been doing a series on this machine that I've been using, and it's been working out really great for me. And at this price, it's not going to get any better. George is basically giving these away to get rid of his stock, to get the new stock for next year in. So if you were thinking about getting it, I would say, definitely try to get it today. It goes until 9 Pacific because he's on Eastern time. So I did want to put that reminder out. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so before you leave. I'm 9 away from hitting 60K again, so I would really appreciate it. And please share this video and like and comment. So the topic for today is going to be the financials of TPUSA and some of the things that have been uncovered more recently. And I wanted to share this because it does lend to the motive that some of the individuals, including Charlie, may have had in order to, I guess, carry this plan out. If you don't know what my theory on what happened to Charlie, you could watch my video on it. I'll link that in the description as well. But my theory is that Charlie knew what was going to happen, and so the problem that I had believing that is, why would he do that? What is his motive for going along with this? And I think these topics will shed some light on may have been. Okay, so we're going to start out with the audit, the Doge style audit that Charlie requested on September 2nd, so just 8 days before his assassination. And Wolves in Finance did a really good video on this. I'll play a little clip from that right here.
There were strange things happening in the financials at Turning Point. There was the unusual transfer of $8.6 million from Turning Point USA into Tyler Boyer's shell company, America's Turning Point. There was the unusually high employee expense for Tyler Boyer's shell company that we still cannot explain. There was all the money that was sent from Tyler Boyer's shell companies to 110 LLC. I believe these transactions culminated in the memo that Charlie Kirk issued 8 days before he was murdered, where he appointed a new COO of Turning Point USA, Justin Strife, and requested a new Doge-style audit. Now, anyone who has worked in corporate America knows what that memo implies. That is the typical memo that you see when you discover someone is stealing money from the company. You replace their position, you start a new audit, and you work on moving that person out of your company. Now, Tyler Boyer has responded to this allegation with this post on X.com. He says, "Made up. I haven't been COO of TPUSA for over 3 years. You're listening to people making things up." He posts a screenshot of his LinkedIn profile as evidence, showing that he was the chief operating officer of Turning Point Action since July 2022, implying that he had nothing to do with Turning Point USA or Charlie Kirk's memo. I find Tyler Boyer's post ridiculous. We were not born yesterday. To my knowledge, since Tyler Boyer's change in title in 2022, no one has held the position of COO at Turning Point USA until Charlie Kirk's memo appointing Justin Strife. And anyone who has worked in corporate America knows that if you get a title change and no one backfills your position, you still end up doing your old job. So it is still likely that Charlie Kirk's memo was attempting to minimize Tyler Boyer's influence at the company. What is even more compelling is that Tyler Boyer's post is contradicted by his own words. The Washington Post obtained a secret audio recording of Tyler Boyer. This is from late 2022, after his supposed change in title. Take a listen.
I'm happy to share with you the history of Turning Point USA because I've learned the whole thing from the bottom up. So you do realize you're talking to the guy that basically runs everything.
Notice he is talking specifically about Turning Point USA, not the other shell companies. And he says, you are talking with the guy who basically runs everything. This is Tyler Boyer in his own words, months after he supposedly changed his title. So which one is it, Tyler? Were you lying then, or are you lying now? Or are you just lying all the time? The Washington Post also recorded Tyler Boyer saying this.
And honestly, I have giant balls, and I don't care. I'll walk in and talk to anyone. I'm a transparent piece of glass here on everything that I do and everything that I'm involved with.
So apparently, he has giant balls. And if he's so transparent, why doesn't he explain why he is sending $4.7 million of Turning Point's money to a UPS store mailbox? What makes all of this so suspicious is the actions of Erica Kirk. She still refuses to do Charlie Kirk's final wish that he wrote in that memo, a Doge-style audit of the finances at Turning Point. This would be so easy to do. You bring in an independent third party, it takes a couple of months, it would calm everyone's concerns over the finances. Why does she refuse to do an audit? The only reason I can think of is that it will uncover criminal activity.
So if Charlie was aware of some of these things going on, and him being the most senior person at Turning Point, he surely would have been implicated in these crimes. And it does seem like Tyler was funneling money into shell companies and using them for his personal use, including a house, an expensive house. So, and I also did look into Justin Strife, who is the newly appointed COO, and it seems like he's very qualified for this role. He's got a lot of experience doing, what he's been appointed to do. So I think this was Charlie's way of, giving a big middle finger to those that were stealing. But I don't think anything's going to come of this. I don't see Erica Kirk going through with the audit. And I honestly don't see the feds looking into this either, which is unfortunate, but that's just my prediction. Okay, the next topic that I want to discuss is Charlie's. And when I first looked into Turning Point's financials, this was, I think, just a couple of days after the 10th. The most recent tax filings I found were for 2023. And so here's some of the, basic revenue, expenses, and things like that. Now these figures are not on ProPublica. It seems like they've taken a lot of this down. But part of this tax filing includes Charlie's salary, which was $389,191. And to me, this seemed like a reasonable salary, given that he is the most senior employee and he's breadwinner for a family of 4. But it turns out that he was getting this amount from the 4 different sleeves of Turning Point, which comes out to just under $1.6 million. So he was making a very high salary. And this is on top of his show, book deals, and investments and other forms of income. And Trigger Smart played a clip of Charlie answering the question, how do you get rich? And this is what he had to say.
We have Charlie Kirk talking about how you should live to get rich. And now remember, he has a $6.5 million mansion. He has a $855,000 condo, living in luxury, flying around first class to all these different locations on campuses and things. So now let's see what he has to say about it.
If you want the secret to get rich, it's actually not super hard. It's live below your means, save your money, invest in good companies, and then find good ideas and read a lot. Read a lot. If you just read a lot and you understand, all of a sudden you'll see trends and you'll be well informed.
So live below your means. And that's something that he lived by, for sure. So what are your thoughts?
And also in the documents, there's information that they were, chartering private jets, living a very luxurious lifestyle for the executives of Turning Point. And so, it's uncomfortable for some people to hear this, but he wasn't practicing what he preached. And unfortunately, because he's not here, I have to say that, but it does point again to the motive for why he went along with this. And the last point I'm going to bring up is the life insurance policy that was taken out in 2023. And Didi Got a Podcast did a whole video on this, so I'll link that in the description. But it turns out that either him or Erica took out a loan to pay for a life insurance policy that had a yearly premium of $350,000, which is extraordinarily high. I know he's a high value person, but I would say a good $1 to $1.2 million policy, you'll probably spend about $5,000 a year. So you can kind of see how this was unusually high. And I'll play this clip from Didi Got a Podcast.
Let me make sure I got the year right. In 2023, I found somewhere near the bottom that Charlie Kirk or Erica Kirk rather, I'm not sure which one, but created an LLC called GGLF. Interestingly, if you know, one of the kids' names is Gigi. So I'm speculating. First, let me explain what this is, then I'll speculate as to what I think happened here. So this is not uncommon. You use these life policies in the event if the guy who's running the nonprofit is like the face of the company, right? Elon Musk is the face of Tesla, Charlie Kirk, the face of this. You can kind of protect yourself, I guess, financially. So you take this out. If something happens to him, you get a portion of it, a very small portion, by the way, and then Erica or the beneficiary gets the rest. Timing is odd because it's 2023. Remember, Charlie's been the face of this thing, I would say, at least since 2017. I know it started in 2012, but meaning like where he was on the map, everyone knew. 2017. That it took 6 years for them to think, oh, we should, get a policy. But so they did anyway. And it's a massive premium, $350,000 a year. It could be upwards of 10, 20 million. Erica, I'm assuming Erica, the beneficiary, is going to get because of how high the premium is, right?
How much are premiums usually? I mean, I know I'm asking you that on the spot. Is it 100,000, 50,000?
I mean, I guess it depends on your net worth. Like someone like me, it's way lower. Maybe 5,000 a year I was paying for mine, and this is 350. Again, Charlie Kirk is obviously a lot richer than me, but just to put into context,
wow,
I think mine was 4,000 or 5,000 a year.
Wow,
and I pay mine. I love what they did here. Turning Point pays it. So just
and that's totally legal? Well, I guess it would be.
Oh, you know how it's legal? Keyword, it's a loan. But I guarantee you, he would have never paid this back. They're loaning it.
So what do you mean he would have never paid it back? So why would you take it out if you wouldn't be able to pay it back?
I don't think I'm assuming, I don't think anyone would have ever, because he is Turning Point. So I don't think he would come after himself and say, hey, you got to pay this back.
Okay, I see. This is legal?
But yeah, because if you look at the key word, it's called loan. So loan to or from interested persons. So on paper, it's a loan. And, they're just loaning him the money. They're paying the premium for him. And then they get interest back in return if something happens.
So this is not illegal, but he wasn't even paying for his life insurance premiums. So, this does reflect that there were some, things going on, a lot of things pointing to people were moving funds around, taking out policies. And it all just, kind of points to that this ship was going to sink eventually. I don't know how long they could have gone on like this without being found, or someone suing them, or finding out what was really happening. So again, could be another argument for a motive, but that's the main thing I wanted to share. Oh, with the insurance, I don't know if it's been claimed. I don't know if that's public information. So whether they did or not, I'm not sure. But it would, if it is suspected that he possibly did not, get assassinated, that would surely mess up with the life insurance. So this is my last video of the year. So I just wanted to thank you all for the support, for tuning in. When I first started reporting on these topics over 2 years ago, I really didn't think I'd be doing this at this point, but because of the community that we have here and the support I have, and the honor to be able to do this and to deliver these messages, it keeps me going. And I have a lot of great things planned for next year. Some changes that I'm going to add, some improvements that I want to do for the channel. So you'll be seeing them as they happen. And yeah, again, please subscribe. Hopefully I can get to 60K again before 2026. So thank you guys so much for watching, and Happy New Year. Bye.
You see the bag? Chipotle. Welcome to another episode of The Best, where I highlight the best orders at your favorite chain